hobby prospectors. I'm battling flies and stormy clouds. Talk about first world problems, as they say. So we're still bogged down on this project, which, you know, that's okay. And the area that we're finding gold seems to be growing. So that's easy, we just keep working until we run out of gold. It's not that complicated. You can see on the ground, basically right there under my bucket. So that's hit some greenstone there that looks a little bit fresh. And because it sort of seems to be on mass, or what the rock lickers call massive, not because of size but because of area, I'd say that that's going to be bedrock. And that's okay. We're not really finding a lot of gold up there anyway. What I've done here is where it mainly seems to be hitting it in this creek, which, you know, is just classic. So I'm coming in on another cut and see if we can pick up something a bit deeper. That feels pretty hard there. If you can learn the difference between transported material and bedrock, it's pretty important, because as a rule of thumb, when you're pushing, if you haven't hit bedrock, you haven't finished your job. Now, the theory of that's fine, but the practicality doesn't stack up, because the near surface weathering environment, which is a fancy way of saying the topsoil, basically the area between the current surface of the dirt and the bedrock, it can be outcropping, basically like it looks like it is over here, or it could be 100 metres deep. Alright. Lisa and I have been involved in drilling programs out in the Great Victorian Desert when we were chasing paleo channels, and they were drilled out at 180 metres, basically, till bedrock. And the paleo channels are the old glacial flows of long ago. Alright, so it's a bit softer over that side, a bit harder over that side. It's okay. And that's where we're picking up all the gold, sort of out here, I think it was. So the thing is, to say, well, you got to chase it to bedrock, well, prospecting, you're not going to be allowed to go any more than about 5 metres, maybe 10 at a pinch. So there's a lot of times when you're not going to hit bedrock. That's interesting there. You can see all that quartz float just in front of my bucket there. That's very good. Yeah, ground's still fairly moist. It's from that rain a few weeks back now, but that's okay. We'll get over that. But understanding what's laterite that's been born in situ. There's some nice quartz down there, that's good. And then when laterite has been eroded and mobilised, what we call reworked laterite, and what's bedrock is pretty important. It doesn't change things in that, you know, the best you can ever do in this game is follow the gold, because don't forget, even though we are, according to the Mining Act, mining, we're actually not, we're prospecting. And it's the one thing I've always believed that the Mines Department has got it fairly wrong, because they lump alluvial people like us in with the miners. And the difference is fairly simple. If you're mining, you've done your exploration work, you've done your drilling, and you know exactly whatever it is you're chasing. You know what it is, you know where it is, and you know how much there is of it. Okay? You've done all your optimization work, which basically means you've done all your resource definitions and blah 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 blah, and you know that there's 20 bucks worth of gold and it's going to cost you 15 bucks to get it out and get it to market, and you should make 5 bucks out of it. Alright? Whereas what we do, this sort of work, you may think it's mining, but we have no idea where the gold is. We don't know if it's there, and we don't know if it is there, which way it's going to go, when it's going to stop, how much it's going to be there, whether we're going to go broke, or whether we're going to make a bloody mozza. That's prospecting. And that's the difference between the two, in my humble opinion. And that's quite nice there. You can see the dirt's still moist, but you can hopefully see that it's peppered there with quartz. That's our transported material. And we just keep dragging it back, and then at least it'll come in and bip it. But what we've done here is we've gone away from the main work area and done this sample cut across the creek, and of course we're getting gold in it, so that means, alright, we know that we have to go from at least here back up to where we're working. The key to this kind of prospecting is to be methodical. It's very easy to lose gold like this, so we have to keep a very close eye on where we're working and what direction we're working to, and blah blah blah. It's really nice looking dirt there. Whoops. I think I'll pull back and go for another cut there. Ah, there's my ramp before. And I think you'll get the hang of reading the ground. The thing I would say is that, well, we just tend to get into systems that work for us, because the thing is that every bit of ground that you work is different. Every bit of gold you find is different. And you can't say, well, this is what's happened here and therefore it's happened on the other side of the creek or whatever. You just don't know. It's one of the things I enjoy about it, is trying to nut it all out. But I tell you what, you could hardly call this work, could you? It's pretty good. Don't tell Lisa that. Righto, we'll just find a level that I want to work to. So at the end of the cut there, I can see the quartz coming through, but at the top end of the cut there, because I've come up a little bit, you can see the silt, so I want to get through that. Dig her in a bit there, dig her in a bit there. Yeah, there's not a lot of quartz there, but I don't want to go any deeper than that, so I'll use that cut as my guide. Let's bring that over this side. Cut him out. Not a lot going on there, but you know, you've got depth, you've got potential. So, I'll just cut these ones and then that'll do, I reckon. Yeah, that's looking nice. Cut the edge a bit. Beauty. So if you're down in Perth, next item on the agenda for us is, apart from working our ass off, but next item for us is October the 22nd and 23rd down in Mandurah, at the Mandurah Business Development Centre, which is a great venue. It's just a bit hard to find, but you know, I've always said if you can't find that, what do you want to go prospecting for? You're only going to get lost. And we've got one-day courses on over the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. The October the 22nd is about being a better prospector. So we go through a lot of the basics that you'll need. I'll just turn my radio down a bit. A lot of the basics that you're going to need, and it's a really good day to basically just that, just to get those fundamentals down pat, and we show you some pretty simple ways to do your research that will make a big difference to your gold kick at the end of the trips. And then on the Sunday, the 23rd, is pretty full on. That's getting all into the nitty gritty of prospecting. It's sort of, we call it the next level, and that's getting into SPLs. It's getting into some heavy research, and basically at Warden's Court, anything, any direction you guys and gals want to take it to, we're happy to talk about. But we're really looking forward to it. It's a bit of a holiday for us as well. And so that's on the 22nd, the 23rd, and you can go to the Gold Talk Leonora website and get all of those details. Alright, well, if I do any more, I'm going to stuff it up. And that's all looking pretty good to detect now. So now what we do is, that'll keep Lisa going for the rest of the afternoon when she comes over here, but I'm going to work further up the hill and do some rehab. Always like to keep a rehab right up to scratch. We can keep up to 2 hectares open, but I just find it's a lot more economic, it's a lot more efficient if I'm doing the rehab in fairly close order behind myself. I just find it's a lot better. Alright prospectors, that'll do for today. And hopefully we'll see some of you down in Mandurah. Take care.